We're top of the league. You'll never sing that. No, guys, we're not talking about the Premier League. We're talking about the Champions League. By securing this position, we now have the chance one of PSG, Benfica, Stade Brestois, or Monaco. So make sure to let us know who would you pick in the comments below. By the way, we know you're going to say Brest. Sure, losing our final game in the league phase might have left a bit of a bitter taste, but let's not forget, we put out a nearly completely different team, resting our key players for the upcoming clash against an informed Bournemouth side. Arne Slot and his men have done a fantastic job in this first phase. I mean, we had to go through some seriously strong teams. Real Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, RB Leipzig, and even AC Milan, who will always be European giants despite their poor form. So, last night's defeat shouldn't take anything away from what's been an outstanding run under Slot in his debut season. Sure, some might call it a dead rubber game, but that's not how we see it. You know how we do things here on Panenka? Every game is a chance to learn something about our team. So, if you missed the match, or just want a breakdown of exactly what went right and what went wrong for Liverpool, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and let's jump straight into the video. As we mentioned in our post Ipswich Town analysis, this Champions League closer was the perfect chance to rotate the squad and give our key players a full week of rest before a crucial away game against Bournemouth. Luckily, that's exactly what Arne Slot decided to do, leaving almost every regular starter back at home. So let's quickly run through our starting lineup. Kelleher started in goal, with Jarell Quansah and Connor Bradley on the right side of the defence. Meanwhile, the left side saw something new. Andrew Robertson slotted in as the left-sided centre-back, alongside Kostas Tsimikas at left-back. In midfield, we had Wataru Endo, Harvey Elliott, and James McConnell, a trio we might see again soon in our FA Cup tie against Plymouth. Up front, Cody Gakpo got the nod, no surprise, considering he probably wanted to start against PSV, the club he once captained. Federico Chiesa took his spot on the right wing, while Jayden Danns made his first ever start for the club. And what a stage to do it on, the Champions League. Now, let's break down what the Reds did well in yesterday's game. We'll start with the team as a whole before highlighting our standout performers, so hold tight. See, despite the heavy rotation, and let's be honest, a bit of a makeshift backline, Liverpool still stuck to Arne Slot's principles when playing out from the back. Just take a look at our passing map here. You can see the same 4-1 or 4-2 structure, with both fullbacks tucking inside, just like always. The way we circulated the ball between the backline and the goalkeeper was also the same. But enough talk, let's show you a clear example from the game itself. You can see us here setting up in our usual 4-2 shape, but that's not all. At times, a third midfielder would drop in, or even a winger would join the build-up phase. The idea? To overload the first phase of play and outnumber PSV, who were pressing us with 5, sometimes even 6 players. Here you can see how the fullbacks' narrow and deep positioning helped us form passing boxes around PSV's press. With Gakpo dropping deeper, we created even more angles to keep the ball moving. It was almost like setting up rondo drills mid-game, quick combinations to play through pressure and progress up the pitch. But that wasn't the only familiar sight from the Reds' second team last night. If you look at the sequence leading up to our second goal, you'll recognise the press baiting patterns we always highlight on the channel. Let's break it down for you. Here you can see us set up in our 4-1 shape, but this time Kelleher steps in to split the centre-backs and get involved in possession. Now watch closely, notice how he puts his studs on the ball. That small gesture does 2 key things. First, it invites the opposition to press him. And remember, when you press the goalkeeper, you're leaving someone open elsewhere on the pitch. Second, it signals Endo to make a move towards Kelleher, asking for the ball while also dragging his marker with him. As soon as Kelleher plays the pass to Endo, look at the space that opens up behind his marker. With just one touch, Endo lays it back to Kelleher, who immediately goes long towards Danns. Now let's show you why this entire process makes it so easy for us to win second balls. Right at the exact moment Kelleher launched the long ball, you can see the huge gap PSV left in the middle of the pitch. That space was completely unprotected, all because one of their players decided to track Endo's run and even step up to press Kelleher. And here's the best part, Endo then attacks that very same space, and guess what? He's completely free to pick up the second ball and immediately set Gakpo loose in the final third. From there, Gakpo, Chiesa, and Elliott all combined brilliantly to get us our second goal of the night. Now, you might be wondering, why did we skip our first goal? Well, first off, it was a penalty, calmly slotted home by Cody, who absolutely deserved the standing ovation he got when he was subbed off. But more importantly, we wanted to highlight Chiesa after his involvement in the second goal with that powerful strike. In fact, it was Chiesa who won the penalty out of nowhere. That moment showed exactly how hungry he is. He didn't just give up after losing the ball, he kept fighting, seemingly appearing out of thin air to snatch it back from the PSV defender and force the mistake in the box. Another player we have to mention is James McConnell, because wow, we knew the kid was good, but we didn't know he was that good. Even Arne Slot was impressed, so much so that he's now unlikely to go out on loan. And let's be honest, he deserves that recognition. James played with confidence, taking players on in midfield and linking up seamlessly with his teammates. He finished the game with 85% passing accuracy, but more importantly, he made 9 passes into the final third, showing just how eager he is to progress the ball forward. And it didn't stop there. Defensively, he was just as good. 4 successful tackles, 3 interceptions, multiple recoveries, and 6 out of 11 ground duels won. He put in a serious shift, both with and without the ball. Now, Jayden Danns also deserves credit because, let's be honest, the kid never stopped running. He was relentless in leading the press, though at times he got a little carried away, which left him looking exhausted. Still, his hunger, his ability to take on players and draw fouls, and the way he dropped deep between the lines to receive and combine, all of it was another great showing from yet another young talent. Now everything sounds brilliant so far, right? Well, we've saved some negative thoughts for last. Look, we're not here to single out players, they're all part of the squad, and we don't have any agendas against anyone. But when certain weaknesses keep showing up, it's only right that we highlight them for you guys, and for that we have to talk about Jarell Quansah. Now don't get us wrong, we get it. A centre-back pairing of Quansah and Robertson was always going to be shaky. In fact, it might even be a bit harsh to judge Quansah, considering he had to play alongside Robbo, who, let's be honest, isn't the most reliable when filling in at centre-back. Still, Quansah just didn't look confident out there. And that's been the case ever since he was subbed off at halftime against Ipswich on the opening day of our league campaign. He was easily dragged out of position and physically outmuscled again. The worrying part? He didn't make a single tackle or win any ground duels. For the first goal, we believe he could have done better. His man had way too much time to flick the ball back to Bakayoko. But the real concern was that third goal. He made a poor clearance, gifting the ball straight back to PSV in a dangerous area. Then he couldn't recover in time to stop the cross for their third goal, the one that ultimately cost us the game. Again, this isn't about singling him out. We've praised Quansah plenty of times last season when he was performing consistently. But this campaign, something just feels off. We really hope he can pick himself up because at the end of the day, we only have 4 centre-backs. And we need every single one of them at their best if we want to finish this season on a high. So that was your quick rundown of yesterday's game. Now over to you guys. Who was your player of the match? Did McConnell impress you? Or maybe Jayden Danns? And what about Chiesa? Do you think he needs a consistent run of games to hit his true levels? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, drop your predictions for the Bournemouth game, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content.